Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I'm talking about reducing anxious mind chatter by clearing the stuck energy in your body. But first, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who reached out to me with concerns for my well-being here on Maui. I want to let you all know I am safe and I am okay, and I'm helping how I can, and I am well aware that this is a marathon of a recovery here on the island, and I send all my good thoughts and prayers to everyone who has been affected by the fires here on the islands. That includes Maui and Big Island. And I thank you all once again for being concerned for my well-being. It touched my heart. Mahalo. Now, you have heard me say many times to remind yourself when you begin to go into fear that you can handle things if and when they happen. I know this from personal experience that we can handle things if and when they come. And I have to still remind myself sometimes that right now I am safe and I can and will handle whatever is put in front of me. This does not mean that we are always comfortable or pain-free, but we can quiet the lizard brain by sending the messages that are true in the present moment. And if the truth is that you are okay, be okay. And don't try to borrow suffering from the future. Most of what we worry about doesn't happen, and all sorts of things that we never imagined do happen. I'm old enough to have lived through all kinds of things that never went through my head, and lots of things went through my head that never came about, and I wasted a lot of time, energy on those imaginary musings. There can be no way to prepare for all of life's surprises, so don't. Of course, we are wise and we have the ability to plan, so do what you can and then save your precious energy for reality, because you may need it. In other words, let go of the outcome. Do what you can. There will be all kinds of things that we plan for and that we set our lives up for, safeguards. These are all wonderful things, but the important piece that we miss is to let go of the outcome. The anxious mind will go back over and over and over all the possibilities that it sees. Well, those are not real. You've prepared, now let go. Our energy levels suffer when we spend all of our time paying full attention to the mind chatter that goes through our heads day in and day out. This is draining when it is in the subconscious, and it is thoroughly exhausting when we continue to feed it consciously with our present moment thoughts. I've noticed that the more the mind chatters with these worries and imaginings, that it tends to build up also in the body. And if we remain inactive for long periods of time, we will add a whole new layer to our fears and anxieties. We then begin to have the body pains along with the mental discomfort. So what do we do with this? Why are we so stuck like this? The more our mind is chattering and these worries are going through our head that are not real, they haven't happened, they're possibilities, And this tends to build up in our body also if we are inactive. So this is coming to me because I'm thinking about sitting at a desk all day or working in an area where you have to stand in the same place doing the same thing, or maybe sitting on the couch, being a couch potato, whatever. But when we are inactive for long periods of time, we do add this new layer to our fears and our anxieties. What we're doing is we are adding stuck energy into our body. And the more stuck energy we have in the body, this is another cycle. The body is stuck, and so the mind chatters louder. The mind chatters louder. We don't do anything because we're frozen in fear, and we get more stuck energy. We have to break these cycles. Changing our thoughts can be done as a way to change the cycle. It's a good practice to know how to question the nagging, repetitive thoughts and to know how to let them settle like the glitter in the snow globe. And there are past and will be more episodes on such ideas. But today, I wanted to focus on the body. I actually find the body is a great first choice when it comes to interrupting the adrenaline fear cycle. As it responds in the moment, your body will respond in the moment, whereas mental practices take skill and practice to be able to use them in a moment of need or in a moment of distress. But your body will respond. If you change your respiration, your brain is going to register that immediately. We have the ability to consciously shift different parts of our bodies in ways that will send positive, affirming messages to the brain, giving the amygdala the order that all is well here. You can stand down. Believe me, your amygdala, the lizard brain, will come to full attention without anything on your end consciously. You do not need to tell the amygdala to get going. That's its whole job, is to detect danger and to get you to move to safety. It works so well, as many of you can attest to, that it can be working on getting you to safety when you are just simply trying to enjoy a good meal or watch a movie at home on the couch. And your amygdala is going, danger. I sense danger. And a lot of that is, again, we've talked about this in other episodes, from subconscious things that are bubbling up. But what we want to do is we want to handle that when it pops up. We want to deal with it. So because today we're focusing on the body, let's take a look at how we can use our body to interrupt the anxiety cycle, the discomfort, fearful thoughts about discomfort, even more discomfort from the adrenaline and cortisol being released, causing more alarming and ruminating thoughts. It goes round and round and round. We feel discomfort, we get scared. That's a thought about being uncomfortable. And then we have more adrenaline, cortisol being released. And that makes us, meaning our amygdala, staying the course. It's not going to stand down. It's going, there is problem down there. We've got all these stress hormones still raging. So it's looking for danger still. So what are we going to do? This is how we are living our lives. We are kind of stuck sometimes. The body is in a perpetual state of frozenness from fear, if that tends to be your way of reacting, or it can be in anger from reacting. It can be in anxiety. It can be in depression. There's all kinds of ways that people are responding to this stuck energy that we are getting from having these ruminating thoughts all the time. For some of you, it's been years. A lot of the email I get, people are writing right away. And I'm so excited that people will write to me when they'll say, geez, I started feeling this a few months ago. And I'm like, yes, this is the time to catch it. A few months ago, yes. Let's do this. Let's get you out of there. But sometimes we've been feeling those ways for years, decades. That's not unusual to have been carrying around this stuck energy in our bodies for years, decades. So we want to look at the ways that we can use our body to interrupt the anxiety cycle, because the body is actually holding a lot of this old anxiety, all of this old discomfort. So let's notice when real danger strikes, which I've just been through here. We are moved into action physically and mentally. We're physically moving or running, and mentally we are in high gear trying to figure out the fastest path to safety or to figure out the problem. But when our, quote, danger, I'm doing some air quotes around that danger, but when our danger is only in our thoughts and imagination, we have no action to take, and we just store all this in our body. And this danger, discomfort in our body builds on itself. And like I said, many people out there are only in this anxiety cycle for a few months, but many have been there for decades. And so we want to start clearing this stuck energy out because it doesn't serve you. It's exhausting and it contributes to the rumination, the mind chatter, the endless anxiety, fear, adrenaline, fear cycle, because the body is so stuck in that mode, it just takes it. There's no other learned way to deal with it. So I want to talk about some ways that you can clear the built-up energy in your body so that you are not constantly storing it. The more you do these things, you'll start clearing out not just yesterday's, but old energy. Your body will respond. The human body is just remarkable in its ability to respond to when it is given what it needs. And like I said earlier, we are inactive. We are not moving. So the body is just storing everything. When we are, like I said, in real danger. I remember way back a really old show, I remember talking about when I had to evacuate because of a tsunami. You know, the big alarm went off and I lived in a community right down there by the ocean. And so we had to evacuate. So you hear the alarm, you get scared, and so you could go into anxiety, but no, because there's too much to do. You have to move your body. You got to pack the car. You got to get the water, your bug out bag. You got to do all the things. And your mind has to be active. It can't be ruminating. It has to be active. Well, what route am I taking? Whose home am I going to up country? Well, this, that, the other thing. We are in action. We are in the present moment, moving, figuring things out. The mind has no time to ruminate. The body has no time to store more stagnant energy that is just layering. It's burning energy. So how can you use your body to clear this built-up energy in your body? Remember that your body is an energetic container. It contains energy. These feelings that we have, they're energy. And so we want to get the energy to flow versus building up with nowhere to go. So in order to flow, I want you to try a few things. Simply get up and move. These are not magical tips I'm giving you. These are very common sense things that you know to do, but you're probably not doing it. I want you to get up and move. I want you to do big movements or small movements. It doesn't matter. Just move. And that means every day when you're sitting at your desk, stop sitting so long. Get up and move. Move the energy from all the things you've been thinking about all morning at the desk. They're building up in your body. Get up and move. Try stretching if you can't just move your body. You can stretch it out like yoga or regular old-fashioned stretches. Tapping the body is an excellent way to get the energy to flow in your body. It's kind of like just tapping your body with your fingertips as you would do in Qigong. Do it all over the body. You don't need to learn anything special. Just get up and tap your body. Where do you feel stiff? Where do you feel stagnant? Tap it there. You can do this while you're sitting down. And this isn't tapping for emotional tapping. This is just tapping to move the energy. And of course, doing Qigong will help you to do it in a very organized manner. But I want you to not have to learn anything new. I just want you to get up and stretch your body, move your body. Tap your body all over. This removes blockages and gets the energy flowing again. And finally, the last one, you knew I was going to get to this. I want you to breathe. I want you to, at some point in your day, to take a really full inhale where you can feel your lungs filling from the bottom up and feel the expansion of your lungs to the point that you can feel that your sides, your ribs moving outward, and you can feel it in your back, not just in your belly. And then slowly exhale through your nose. Get one of those every day, more if you like it. And remember, when the energy in your body is blocked, the mind will increase its chatter. I hope that today's show is helpful for you, and I hope that you will keep everybody here on the island of Maui and the island of Big Island in your thoughts and prayers as we continue moving through our devastation over here. And now for today's quote. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. And that's from Charles Darwin. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.